Good morning, Carlos. It is such a pleasure to welcome you in the context of this Venture Leaders 20 years anniversary interview. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you, Jordi. It's a pleasure to be here and to have the opportunity to connect and discuss a bit.
It's great. Thank you very much. And so, Carlos, you were a Venture Leaders 2017. We went together to Boston, and the year after going west, we went east, direction China. 2018, Venture Leaders winner again. It was just fantastic to be able to share this experience together. And I'm going to take a few minutes of your time just to explore how did this actually impact your development and impact your learnings that you can then share, of course, with the next generation. Before we go into this, I'd like to have you giving just a very brief introduction about you and about how has the company evolved since inception until today.
Very good. So my name is Carlos. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of RetinAI. I have a background in engineering. So I finished my studies in Spain, in Barcelona, and then came to Switzerland to basically start a PhD in the intersection of machine learning applied to medical imaging in eye care. And towards the end of the PhD, together with my two co-founders, we created a company that is focused on enabling the right decisions sooner in healthcare. It's a software company that is primarily working in the ophthalmology space. We collect data, digest data, deploy a collection of AI models, and we bring the data and the information to the decision maker. And that decision maker could be in a pharmaceutical company, it could be in a clinic, and potentially one day it could be even the patient. A bit about the story of the company. So we were we were born in 2017. We have raised a bit more of $20 million from inception. I'm very thankful to Venture Leaders because in the evening where we were presenting Venture Leaders Boston 2017, I met my first investor. So I will never forget that opportunity and the path that it enabled us to create for the company, for the future of the company. We have certified 6 medical devices. Today our technology is being used by thousands of users. We have processed millions of patient visits, supported most of the pharmaceutical companies in clinical development pipelines to bring new drugs to the market. So I'm very happy about the development of the company. And more recently, 5 months ago, we were acquired by EssilorLuxottica, which is one of the largest European companies. They are developing lenses and frames, and they are also the owners of brands like Ray-Ban, Persol, Oakley. So they are one of the largest companies in Europe, and we are looking forward to chapter 2 of this company.
Wow, this is very impressive story, and of course, rejoicing news. I remember those days, and 2017. Imagine back, and you were actually already AI way before the hype. We can say it like this. So quite impressive trip, Carlos. In these times back, and I'm going back, in all of the learnings, you went, said west, east, met your first investor at Venture Leaders. What did you learn in this past? And I'm focusing first our discussion around this fundraising, which is such an important topic. When you are a company like yours, amazing technology, but needs quite a bit of funding to get to market. What were your learnings around, pitching Swiss, European, US, Chinese investors going global? How did this evolve? Where did you see any difference?
I think the first thing that you need to know is you are immediately international. So you need to put yourself under the spotlight of what are your competitors doing in the international space? You are launching a global scene, so there is no more the Swiss aura. So you need to be ready to answer those questions. I think that's one of the most important aspects. The second one is that you need to be ready to meet investors. So you need to have your data room ready. You need to be able to answer the questions quick because opportunities, they come once and they may never come back. So you need to be ready to capture the opportunity the moment it appears. And I think you just need to be able to understand that everybody is looking at you today and is projecting you into the future. So you need to think big. You need to have a plan for the next 1 to 2 years, but it needs to be a market that is good enough for your company to thrive, for your company to potentially pivot, and you are being assessed in every interaction. So every interaction that you have with potential investors, customers, they are measuring you and measuring the potential of your company. So you need to be ready for prime time from the get-go. And this, as an early stage entrepreneur, I didn't know, but over the past couple of years, I learned, and I think it's an important thing that you need to keep in mind.
Man, this is great to actually inform and prepare this as already. I mean, some words of wisdom for the next generation, because that's where actually they can be best prepared going international. We often hear this. When you go to the US, you have to think big. You mentioned this as you have to be ready. Is this something you sensed as a difference between Europe and the US and China, or eventually you feel on the global stage, the requests or the expectations of being the leader or going big was the same?
So I would say that you need to adjust your pitch depending on whether you are in Europe, in the US, or in China. In Europe, I would say that founders are still more grounded. So when they think big, they measure their words. And in the US, everybody is speaking a big game about the opportunities and about the potential. So you need to fine tune this. You need to speak the big game whenever you are moving from Europe to the US, because that's what the type of companies that they are investing in. Companies that are thinking big, and thinking big is the entire of US, potentially the rest of the world. So you need to be ready for that. In China is an interesting market. I think it has evolved over the past couple of years. One of the learnings that we had when we went to Venture Leaders 2018 was that you need muscle to go into China. You need to be ready for the opportunities that may open, but you also need to have the right team within your company in order to capture that opportunity. Otherwise, you risk stretching yourself too thin. So I would say that China as the next frontier, you have a good partner, you may make the whole opportunity work, but you need to be ready to, it's like you need to adjust. In the US, it's about more hustling a bit. So you need to just project it until you make it. And in Europe, I would say that expectations are more grounded, but still also times are changing. And also Europe is catching up with the US, I feel. A leasing mentality, more investors are global investors. So I would say that things are leveling a bit. But on the early days, we certainly didn't know all of that.
That's great to see all the progress and the learning. And I'm diving back a little bit more today on right now on the market. How are you perceived? What were the differences going global, for applying this technology and bringing these new tools? Did you see, again, what were your learnings? What did you see differences there, I guess, in the medical field, in the application field?
There was a lot of education. So on the early days, AI, so we were lucky we were early in these AI applications in healthcare. All of this was before the launch of solutions such as ChatGPT and large language models. So we had to do a lot of education. 50% of my time was about convincing physicians that they are not going to be replaced, that this technology is just going to be the means to an end. And that has certainly shifted. So we had a lot of tailwinds thanks to the expansion of ChatGPT, all of these barriers that physicians that are really concerned about the safety of their patients, all of these barriers have now been reshaped, so they are more confident in their ability to navigate this changing environment. At the beginning, I think that I have to say that we didn't know how difficult it was going to be. And sometimes it's even better because otherwise you wouldn't just adventure yourself in such a complex journey. But overall, we managed to overcome these challenges. Today, we are a company developing software as a medical device. We are the largest holder of AI-approved solutions under MDR for AI analysis of eye data in Europe. And I think sometimes you need to just be a bit naive in order to give it a try, and sometimes you are successful. I think the discussion has shifted. Certainly now it's easier. Customers come to us with ideas that they have validated and they have even tested in some cases with other tools that are available to them, primarily driven by the growth of large language models. And I believe that still what is a tailwind for us is that we have the brand. We have built the brand over the past couple of years. Successful results, or our customers that have used our technology for the past couple of years, they have now an easier time. So the time it takes to convince a customer have shrink by half, or even sometimes by 4 times. So we we move faster. That's great news.
Yeah, well, that's quite impressive actually. And if I look, you were definitely a pioneer. Sometimes pioneer, but you made it through to get to the right wave. I think the wave is impressive
It's
now.
difficult.
If you look back, do you think you started at the right time, too early, or just out of curiosity?
I think, Jordi, I wouldn't change a comma. All the suffering, all the learnings, all the opportunities have made us the company that we are today, and I don't want to be in any other place. So I'm really happy. I think it was the perfect time because it was the beginning of the first wave after the deployment of or the results of AlexNet in ImageNet. And I think we captured these new technologies were coming in 2014. The company was built in 2017. And I think starting this company today would be more complicated.
Yeah.
So that was actually working to our advantage. I'm very happy that we did it when we did it as well.
Great. We're looking at the next generation, and I would also like to hear about your next steps. So what is a word of wisdom for the next generation coming up? And what do you think? There were many already in your interview, but maybe one final word. So maybe a few words about you and this chapter too.
So I would answer first the kind of what would be my single sentence on my message. Build the company that investors want to fund before you actually meet them. If you can do that, you are going to be in a position to win. I think that would be my single learning. Also, there is always these three things that I say. You need to listen to what people are telling you and what they are not telling you. It's sometimes good things, but sometimes, and even more important, the bad things. I always say be authentic and believe in what you do, because if you are not authentic and you don't believe in what you do, why should anybody else? So I think that's my word of wisdom. Just trust yourself and do your best and have fun along the way, or try to have fun. It won't be easy, but sometimes you live to see the best next version of your adventure. Sometimes if it doesn't work, you can always start a new one or choose a different path. So I think it's just that would be my word of wisdom. Now, for what's coming next for us is, so we finished chapter 1 of this company, and chapter 1 was about building. So we went from literally like a baby company to a teenage company, where we had to basically draw a path among competitors and in this sea of competition, opportunities, and so on. Now we have closed chapter 1, and now chapter 2 is about impact. It's about bringing our technology to really make a change in the world. We believe that at EssilorLuxottica that is going to be possible because they are one of the largest companies in the world, and now it's about impact and making sure that the dream that we had with my co-founders Sandra and Stefanos, when we were just trying to break the technological barriers that separate patients from the best healthcare technology solution available, I think we are getting a bit closer to drive that impact at global scale, like anything we could have ever thought. So it's really rewarding and something I'm looking forward to.
Well, and we can only wish and rejoice that actually you're at this stage, because the drive of impact and what you bring, I'm sure all the patients, the doctors, the people, just like me, are only waiting for that. Well, Carlos, a big thank you for your time. Thank you for all the job, by the way. I always tell entrepreneurs, you had to take on this with your co-founders and with the whole team. It wouldn't be here without all of your effort and resilience and everything you had to go through. So thank you very much for doing this. Thanks for your time, and thank you for sharing in these 20 years of Venture Leaders.
Thanks a lot, Jordi, and thank you for supporting us in making sure that we drive change in the world. I think we would be nowhere really without Venture Lab and Venture Geek and all the initiatives that you, together with Beat and the rest of the team, have driven. So I'm sure that you get this every second day or every day, but thank you. We wouldn't be here without you.
Thank you very much. I will pass it to the team. And I think, as we say, we rejoice. I mean, you make our days, and that's why every day we continue. Thank you, Carlos, and goodbye.
Very good. Thank you.